Good morning, dear students. Today we will discuss Internet survey. Internet survey basically is a self-administered questionnaire posted on a website. Respondent provides answers to questions displayed online by highlighting a phrase or clicking an icon or keying in an answer. This looks like this way. Like how many times have you visited the US Mint website? You have to choose among the options, right? 1 2 3 4 5 up to n number of options would be given, or maybe the options might be like 1 2 3 or more than 3, right? How did you hear about our website? You have to choose. The options might be like from a friend, from a family member, from someone from the company, or something like that. If other, then how? If you do not find any suitable answer to choose from the list, then you can write type in over here, right? So internet, when you go for internet survey, you have to provide answers or say options very carefully. Let's say which response best describes you. You can choose among the answers. If not, then you can just type in. For example, it might describe just like either a student or a researcher or a professional or something, but you do not find any suitable category for you, then you can type in over here. Then some questions would be like this as well. Overall, how are we doing? They have provided you 5 options. You can choose any among them, right? Please tell us why. You can even tell them the reason within a line, or within a word as well. So this way also questions can be done. Or we can have some questions who have which can be replied in yes or no. For example, have you purchased anything on the Mint website? Yes or no. You can just mention with yes or no. Or they can even ask you, if you reply with yes, then only you will be going to another question, otherwise that question can be left behind. How would you describe your online shopping experience? If you have not shopped, then the setting can be done that if you reply to this question as no, this fifth question as no, then it would not display question number 6. It will directly go to question 7, 8, or 9, whatever question is required after this. So these settings can also be done in internet surveys. So that was an example how an internet survey is generally conducted. The such questions can be there. You can have a list of answers from which you can choose the answer. If you do not find the suitable category, then there is an option generally they provided that you can choose it as other. You can even reply to other, like in 2a, question 2a. If other, then how you can reply to it. You can have some questions which would be having some options like this: excellent, very good, average, fair, or poor. And this, the same question can even be asked in the way like they can ask you to rate something on the scale of 5, from poor to excellent. Poor means 1, fair means 2, average means 3, very good means 4, and excellent might mean 5. So this way also you can choose your answers. Then some advantages internet surveys are having. Number one, speed of data collection. Yes, these internet surveys are very good when it comes to speed of data collection. Internet surveys allow marketeers to reach a very large audience, possibly a global one as well, to personalize individual messages as well, and to secure confidential answers quickly and cost effectively. You can actually collect data very quickly and cost effectively as well. It's instantaneous. Speed of data collection is instantaneous. As soon as a respondent has replied, you will get the data, as in the form of your Excel sheet. Cost effective, yes, it is. So these computer to computer self administered questionnaires basically eliminate the cost of paper, postage, data entry, and other administrative cost as well. However, hence samples can be larger than with interviews or other types of self-administered questionnaires. Even with large samples, surveys that used to make many weeks can be conducted within a week or in few days, even less than a week. So this is actually a speedy data collecting technique and cost effective as well. Then geographic flexibility. Yes, you can collect data throughout the world within just few clicks. You do not have to worry about the cost of telephone call, or you do not have to worry about uh, uh, going to the person directly. You can actually post the questionnaire on the website, and you can tell people that you have posted the questionnaire, and now they can reply to it, they can fill the questionnaire in. If a person sitting in one country will be filling the questionnaire in the same way as much as the person sitting in the another country. So it's very flexible when it comes to internet surveys, that yes, you can go for geographical boundaries too, worldwide. Then visual and interactive. Yes, surveys conducted on the internet can be very interactive sometimes. It depends on the researcher or say interviewer, that how he takes it, how much interactive he can make the surveys. Many of these interactive surveys utilize current color, sound, and animation, which may help to increase respondents' cooperation and willingness to spend more time with the questionnaire, or say willingness to respond to more questions in the questionnaire. Internet is actually an excellent medium for the presentation of visual materials such as photographs or drawing of product prototypes, advertisements, or maybe some movie trailers. So it is more or less more helpful in conducting a survey. Then questionnaire length. Questionnaire length can also be more in case of internet surveys. It is quite possible to fill large questionnaires as well. Though these are individualized based on respondent answers, and longer questionnaires with panel samples can also be used. Sometimes when we know that the person has not person might not have purchased the product from our company, then we can use some options like we can have options. For example, you can ask the question whether you have purchased the product in last 5 days or not. If person says no, then you can make some settings that if person is replying no to the question number fifth, then 6 to 9 should not be shown to the person, or maybe he might end the survey with some another questions, right? So these settings can be done in case of internet surveys. Then item known response. Software can assure none, because when you are going with internet surveys, you can put restrictions that respondent has to answer all the questions, or you can at least secure some important questions with these restrictions so as to get all the responses. Supervision of interviewers is not required, actually not required, because over here you can actually supervise it through the website, because no one is actually interviewing, right? So you are just providing them with the list of questions, or you can say you are providing them with the with the questionnaire and they are responding to it. No human interaction is actually needed here, so supervision is also not required. Then anonymity of respondent. Yes, respondent can be anonymous or known. It depends on the settings of internet survey. If you feel like that questionnaire contains such questions which are really sensitive, then you should make respondent as anonymous, and you should tell them that they would be anonymous, and you should be be truthful to this point so as to keep his information anonymous. And special feature is it allows graphics and streaming media up to the maximum limit. Respondent cooperation is like it varies depending on website, it varies depending on type of sample. When user doesn't opt in or expect a voluntary survey, cooperation is literally actually low. Or self-selection problems in website visitation surveys occurs, like participants tend to be more deeply involved than the average person. So this respondent cooperation problems comes in when it comes to internet surveys, because some people would be much more willing to answer you, but some people would not even try to answer. So that comes in, and that depends on type of sample you have selected, and type of website you have selected, or the way you have designed the questionnaire. That is also very important when it comes to respondent cooperation. Then representative samples. Yes, this is very important, and it depends. It again depends on the internet survey you are conducting. The quality of internet samples may vary substantially. Sometimes you might get very good sample, representative sample, and sometimes you might not get. Sometimes you might get overrated or underrated sample. This is quite possible in case of internet surveys, because you are not actually selecting people to answer. People are selecting your questionnaire to be answered. Sample of those who visit a web page and voluntarily fill out a questionnaire can have a self-selection error, because people who are not visiting the website will not be answering. But yes, it is helpful in those cases when you're actually trying to take details, or when you are actually trying to survey those people only who are actually visiting the website. If that is your population, then it is quite helpful. Otherwise you will have to rethink, or you will have to think of collecting data through all the survey, all the mediums of survey. For example, internet survey, as well as telephonic survey, or as well as personal interview. You might have to include all the kind of surveys, so as to get 100% response, or so as to get a very good representative sample. This includes some disadvantages as well. Not all individuals in the general public have internet access. Yes, that's 100% true. Many respondents lack powerful computers with high speed connections to the internet. Yes, this is also a kind of the thing due to which they are not able to reply. Many respondents' computer skills will be relatively unsophisticated. So that also creates a problem in good representative sample, because people are not 100% comfortable with computers. Possibility for respondent misunderstanding, yes, that increases in internet surveys, because when you are talking to the person by yourself, when either through personal interview or telephonic interview, you can make the person understand about the question completely. And even if suppose if you don't get the real meaning of the answer from the respondent, or you did not understand the answer completely, you can ask them again. But here in case of internet survey, it is not quite possible, so possibility of respondent misunderstanding happens. Then interviewer influences of answers. There is no influence of interviewer for the answers, so it is quite good as well as bad, because interviewer is not influencing to answer the question. That means respondent would be highly actual in responding, but highly real, you can say. But because interviewer is not influencing the respondent to answer, he might not reply to some questions. Ease of callback or follow up. It depends again. How did you tell them about the internet survey? Difficult unless email address is known. If you have emailed the or you can say, if you have told them that this is the questionnaire to be filled up, or if you have either emailed the questionnaire to people, the respondents, or if you have mailed them the link of the questionnaire, then it's easy. Otherwise it would be difficult to call back or follow up, because you don't know their email addresses. Now welcome screen. It is very important when it comes to internet service. Welcome screen is like a cover letter, like we mentioned in mail surveys. It contains the name of the research company and how to contact the organization if there is a problem or concern. Or we can say if you have any concerns or questions about this survey, or if you experience any technical difficulties, please contact either the name of the organization we can mention, or we can provide some details, either of them or all of them, the contact number, email address, or contact person. You can just mention the name of contact person, or you can just mention the contact number only, or you can just mention the email address only, or you can just mention either of two, or you can mention all of them as well. It depends on you that how much information you want to be to disclose to the respondent about the company or maybe about the survey. Welcome screen can include some instructions as well. For example, press the enter key to begin the survey, or simply click on the right arrow at the bottom of the page to begin the survey. After you have read remaining instructions, you can provide instructions like that. Or during the survey, please do not use your browser's forward and back buttons. You can provide something like that as well. Or you can tell them that use the arrows on the lower right to move backward and forward through the survey. You can tell them how to use the screen, and you can tell them how to use the arrows. That's it. Now let us go with some questions, some true false. Number 1, the internet is an excellent medium for the presentation of visual materials in surveys. Is it? The internet is an excellent medium for the presentation of visual materials in surveys. For example, some visual aids, some videos, some trailers of the movies. Is it? Yes, it's 100% true. So this is true. Second, one major advantage of internet surveys is the computer's ability to sequence questions based on previous responses. Yes, this is true. When there are questions over the internet surveys, we can actually have errorless answers, because whenever you are going for a personal interview or telephonic interview, what would happen is that whenever you are recording those answers, you might record something wrong. Maybe you might record one answer 2 times, or you might miss some answer, right, and could not record them. But in case of internet surveys, as soon as the respondent replies, answer get recorded, or if they reply it 2 times, answer would be rejected, right? The only one response would be recorded. So this is actually a very good advantage of internet service, that computer's ability to sequence questions based on previous responses. So it is a true. Internet surveys have real-time data capture, which allows for real-time data analysis. Yes, it is true, because as soon as a respondent fills in the answers, you will get the same in your Excel sheet attached with that particular online questionnaire, you can say, or that particular internet survey. So it's true. 4, internet surveys allow researchers to personalize invitations to potential respondents to try to increase the response rate for the survey. Yes, it is true. We can actually personalize invitations to potential respondents so as to increase the response rate for the survey. Last is, self-selection is a problem when a computer with a touch screen is used at a kiosk at a trade show to collect survey information. Yes, it happens. This is true, because sometimes what happens is people who are very comfortable using kiosk would be using it, or maybe people who actually faced some problem would be going to kiosk to give the feedback, or people who are really very happy would be using the kiosk. So it would always have self-selection bias. So it is true. Some questions. Number 1, list down the advantages of internet surveys. Explain the help of an example. What are the advantages of internet surveys? You can list some of them. For example, speed of data collection is good. Its cost is like nothing. Cost effective it is. It is geographically flexible. Visual and interactive aids can be used. Questionnaire length can be moderated from person to person. Item non-response can be avoided with the help of some settings, right? Supervision of interviews is actually not required, so that also reduces some cost. Anonymity of respondent can be maintained here. Then so many other things are also there. You can just mention, you can list down all the advantages and explain them all with the help of one example. You can just take example of anything like we have mentioned in the PPT as well. Like you can list down a few questions as per each advantage and then explain them one by one so as to complete the answer. When you give examples in the exams, you get more marks. So list down all the advantages, then explain them one by one with the help of at least one example each. Second question, list down the disadvantages of the internet surveys. Yes, everything which has advantage will be having disadvantages as well. So what are the disadvantages here? Not all the individuals are comfortable with computers. Not all the individuals are comfortable with all the technologies possible. Some people might not be having computers at home, right? They might not be using computers frequently. Possibly possibility of respondent misunderstanding is very high here. Interviewer influence of answers is not there, right? So that might also create some problems. Ease of callbacks is not there. You can mention that unless you have the email IDs of those people. So many things are there. You can list down all the disadvantages and you can give some examples as well if you wish to, because examples would always fetch you more marks. For example, you can mention that some elderly people who are not very comfortable with computers these days, even these days, they will not be able to be a part of internet surveys. So your internet survey should either have the population which is actually using computers, which are actually computer friendly, then it is okay. Otherwise it would be a huge problem for you. Or you can always say that it would include self-selection bias. Then last is why welcome screen is important in the internet surveys. Welcome screen, why welcome screen is important? First of all, you will mention that what welcome screen actually is. Welcome screen actually is like a cover letter. Like we mentioned cover letters in mail surveys about related to organization. You provide information about your organization. Maybe you might even tell them the purpose, or you might not tell them the exact purpose. It depends on the policy of the organization regarding the survey. And then you can even tell them, like if you face any kind of the problem in the survey, you can mention the contact number, you can mention email ID, you can mention contact person's name, right? So when it comes to personal interview and telephonic interview, the person knows that he or she is talking to someone either through phone or through face to face. But when it comes to internet survey, they don't know anyone. They don't know whether, if they don't understand any question, they don't know how to contact the person and tell them the answer. Nobody bothers about your survey, right? Until and unless they have some advantage through that survey. So you should always provide a welcome screen when it comes to internet survey. Welcome screen should be very good. That should also that screen should try to fetch respondents interest in your internet survey. Otherwise the person might or might not reply to the internet survey. You can provide details of contact persons as well, because that also help them to understand that yes, this is not actually fake. And then welcome screen is needed for some basic instructions as well. For example, you can tell them how to actually reply to the questions. You can tell them how to you can tell them that press enter key to go to the next question. You can tell them how to forward or backward, with which kind of the arrow keys they can use, their responses to the next questions. You can tell them, you can simply begin the questionnaire with the click or something like that, right? So this also, for these information is also welcome screen is very important. Welcome screen is important basically for two things. One is to actually welcome the respondent, to tell him that yes, you are welcoming him or her, and you can start making some interest in him, like so as to make him interested in replying the survey. And then this is important for providing some instructions as well while replying to the questions. That's all. Thank you.